It's running shoe review time at the channel, and in today's video we are taking an in-depth look at Asics' very popular, super soft, neutral daily trainer, the Novablast 2. Welcome back, folks. It's good to have you along. I'm Lloyd Purvis and this is Run4Adventure. First up, a massive shout out to Alex from Pitch for sending over this rather good looking pair of Novablast 2s to test and review. In this baby blue colour, I think the shoe looks fantastic. I've been really impressed with some of the current range of Asics shoes, and the Novablast is always a shoe that I'd like to give a go. So when he got in touch, I thought, let's grab a pair and take them for a run. Also, a lot of viewers have been asking if we would test and review the Novablast 2. So without further ado, let's give you a few facts and figures on this new daily training neutral shoe from Asics. The Novablast 2 retails in the UK for £130, and weight-wise it weighs in at 290 grams in a men's UK 9.5 and 245 grams in a women's shoe. It runs off an 8mm offset on the heel, and it is available in several different colorways for men and for women. And when it comes down to fit, I've found it true to size with average width in the toe box. Moving on to the construction, and we'll start with the materials used first, and it is a double engineered jackered mesh upper to give you excellent levels of comfort and support while keeping your feet nice and cool. Asics have worked in some structural overlays around those lace eyelets, and we got some internal structuring around the toe box just for a bit of extra durability. We've also got this beefed up heel TPU cradle just to give high levels of stability in the back end of the shoe. Good levels of padding around that ankle collar and in the tongue, and I'm happy to say that tongue is gusseted in the upper, so that's going to improve mid-foot hold and stop that tongue sliding around in the shoe. We got some nice perforations worked into the toe there and in the tongue just to allow air to circulate through that upper a bit better, improving on breathability. Moving on to the midsole, and like so many road running shoes these days, we have a deeply cushioned oversized midsole. That's been constructed using Asics FF Blast compound, which they claim has been retuned in this latest version of the Novablast to give you a very soft, plush and comfortable ride, but to be more energetic when it comes to rebound. You've also got this quite dominant heel design, so you're actually sunk down into that midsole just to offer a bit more stability and a bit more support in the heel of the shoe, while giving you a smoother transition in your running gait. And last but not least, we have the trampoline inspired outsole, and yes, that is Asics words and not mine, but the trampoline inspired outsole that's been designed to give you a more responsive bounce back. That has been coated in AR Plus rubber for good levels of traction and durability. So I've run a good 30 miles plus in the Novablast. Coming back from injury and niggles, it's all been pretty steady stuff. So I've done no long mega efforts or any speed work or tempo work or anything like that. But it's given me a really good idea of what it's like to use the Novablast as a daily neutral trainer. So let's go through all the highlights, the features that I've really enjoyed, but we'll also maybe highlight some of the things that I'm not so sure about. Starting off with the upper first, and I've found it to be very plush and comfortable internally inside this upper. And I've found most Asics shoes that we've tested and reviewed this year to be that way. They really do know how to construct a very comfortable upper on a running shoe. I've heard a few people say that they found the updated uppers run a bit hot, but I've got to be honest, it feels pretty breathable to me. I've had no issues with overheating, but to be fair, we are moving into a winter here in the UK, so I haven't really run the shoe in hot conditions, so maybe it is just that. But I think having all those perforations around the toe box and in the tongue, it's actually given me good airflow around the foot, and it's felt pretty breathable. Just the right levels of padding when it comes to the ankle collar and heel cup for me. So not overly padded, not too bulky. I'm not a big fan of that. And the same can be said about that gusseted tongue in the upper as well. So Really good levels of lockdown around the midfoot and in the heel cup, and overall just a really nice place to be. Just before we go any further with the review, just a bit of shameless self-promotion. If you really enjoy the channel and you want to support the channel, then we are running an offer on our multi-wraps in the merch store at Run4Adventure.uk. We got 3 really cool designs available for you guys at home, and if you enter multiwrap10 as your discount code, you'll get 10% off of any of them. So get in the mix, guys. It's a great way of supporting the channel, and you can fly the Run4Adventure flag this winter. The FF Blast compound in the midsole has performed really well, and it definitely offers a very soft level of cushioning underfoot, and it feels like it's given me a little bit back. I'm still not sure whether it's a bit too soft for my liking when it comes to my running shoes, but it has felt very comfortable at that slower pace I'm running lately. Most of my runs have either been in the pouring rain or out on very wet roads and pavements sploshing through puddles, so I can definitely vouch for that outsole rubber. Offered really good levels of grip and traction even in very wet, wintry conditions. Pretty happy with the overall weight of the shoe. Clearly we've got that very deep midsole of cushioning, and that obviously adds weight to a running shoe, but at 290 grams it's felt pretty light to run in, and that's a pretty good weight for a sort of daily workhorse trainer. So for my first experience in an Asics Novablast, it's been a pretty pleasant one. Very comfortable upper, the shoe fits my foot shape really well, but there was one thing that really surprised me about the performance, and that was the heel offset. I actually started running in the Novablast 2s before I looked at any of the details about the spec and the construction of the shoe. I didn't know the weight or the heel offset, and once I got back from that initial run, if you'd have asked me how high I thought the heel offset was, I'd probably have said it was around a 10 or 12 mil, because it did feel quite high and quite dominant in the back end of the shoe. So I was pretty surprised when I read it's only an 8 mil drop, and I'm normally fine in an 8 mil offset, especially in a road shoe, but I think a lot of it just comes down to the sheer volume and bulk of cushioning that wraps around that heel, and you can see it also overhangs the upper a little bit, so a big percentage of weight just in the back end of the shoe. And if I sort of grab the Novablast by the toe, you can kind of feel that all that weight is stacked towards the back, and I'm not sure how well balanced it is. Now obviously things like weight, heel offset and balance are very personal when it comes to our shoes, and a lot of that depends on how we run and how we foot strike. I would say I'm predominantly a midfoot, forefoot runner, so that heel just felt a little bit dominant for my running style, and it did make the Novablast feel a little bit unresponsive. So it's been fine at those sort of slower recovery pace runs that I've been doing, but there was a few times I tried to push on for the odd mile, up the pace a bit, still not quick. Coming back from injury, don't want to do too much too soon. So sort of around that 7:30 minute mile in, and the shoe didn't feel that lively and didn't feel that responsive. So I'm not sure how versatile the Novablast 2 is. Right, so there you have it, how we felt about our first experience running in the Novablast 2. A bit of information about the spec and the construction of the shoe, but we've reached that time in the review where we need to get some points on the Run4Adventure board. So let's dive into the scoring, and let's start with the price first. With it retailing for £130 here in the UK, I don't think that's a bad price for a high volume mileage daily workhorse trainer, especially when you look at all the other shoes in the marketplace that it's competing against. They're all around a similar sort of price. Maybe £5–10 cheaper would be a good thing, but when it comes down to price, we're going to score it a pretty reasonable 7 out of 10. Up next is comfort and performance, and there's no denying this is a very comfortable running shoe. Having that really nice plush comfortable upper, really good levels of cushioning from that FF Blast compound in the midsole. When I was just out there bobbing along, the shoe felt really good, but I'm not sure how many quicker sessions I'd want to do in the shoe just because of how dominant that heel felt. Personally, I would have liked it to feel a little bit more responsive when I upped the tempo, and it did kind of feel like I was running in a pair of high heels. Not that I've ever run in high heels, but I should imagine it feels a little bit like this. So because of all that, we're going to score the Novablast 2 from Asics a comfortable, but I'd like to see it a bit more versatile, 7 out of 10 for comfort and performance. And finishing off with the all-important topic of durability, and this is quite a hard thing to score after running just 30 miles in the shoe. So this is where you guys can get involved, and if you've had a pair of Novablast 2s for a while and you've run hundreds and hundreds of miles in it and the shoe's holding up really well, or it started to fall apart pretty early. Hopefully that isn't the case. Then get in the comments below, let us know all about it, because it really would be appreciated. But all I can say about this shoe is so far so good, and it's looking pretty solid when it comes to the construction and durability. No early signs of wear at all on the shoe, no issues at the flex point of that upper, no issues when it comes to the padding in the heel cup, and that outsole rubber is holding up really well to the miles. So looks pretty solid after 30 miles of running, which obviously you'd like to expect to see from your running shoes. So we're going to score it a well put together 8 out of 10 for durability. So tallying all those points up at Run4Adventure, the Novablast 2 from Asics is going to score a respectable 22 out of 30. On to looks, and if you're new to the channel, this is an area that we don't really want to score at Run4Adventure because it's so personal, so subjective, and we should never judge the performance of a running shoe by looks alone. But we do like to award shoes a thumbs up or thumbs down when it comes down to looks. I have to say, I'm a massive fan of the way the Novablast 2 looks, especially in this really cool looking baby blue colorway with the red and black accents. If you go onto Asics website and look at the colorways available, there literally is a colorway for everyone's needs, and I think it's been a long time since I've seen so many color options available just for one running shoe. So the Novablast 2 has to get a big thumbs up for looks at Run4Adventure. When it comes down to comparisons, there's quite a lot of deeply cushioned neutral running shoes out there nowadays. So things like Hoka's Clifton 8, you've got New Balance's 1080 V11, the Triumph 19 from Saucony, and Brooks's Glycerin 19 would all fill a similar role in your shoe rotation as that very comfortable daily workhorse trainer. Right, it's conclusion time, and if you're in the market for a neutral training shoe, you want a shoe that you can slip on that's going to be very comfortable for your longer, slower efforts or a bit of recovery running, you like a reasonably lightweight shoe with a deep, soft cushion midsole, then the Novablast 2 from Asics is definitely worth checking out. But if you're like me and you want a bit more versatility from your running shoes, you're on a budget and you can only afford one pair and you want that kind of one-stop shop shoe that's going to cross over to all aspects of your running, whether it be longer, slower efforts, a bit of tempo, a bit of speed work, or maybe even double up as a race day shoe, then I personally think there's probably better neutral options out there, and there's probably better neutral options within the Asics range. Take for instance the Noosa Tri 13 from Asics, a pretty bold and colourful design shoe, that's for sure, but again, really versatile when it comes to its running. So nice and lightweight, well cushioned. We've got that sort of aggressive rocker geometry worked into the midsole. Really comfortable upper internally, very plush. Longer, slower efforts, super comfortable underfoot, but quite different from the Novablast 2. When you up the tempo in this shoe, it really does come to life. So it's going to handle all those tempos, the speed work, and it could definitely double up as a race day shoe. We've done a full review on the Noosa Tri 13 on the channel, so I've left a link in the description if you want to check it out. We are done, and that is a wrap on another review here at Run4Adventure. Really hope you enjoyed it, guys. Really hope you found it helpful. If you did, you know what to do. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But don't forget to hit that bell icon so you'll be notified when we upload any new content. I'd love to hear your feedback, so if you've been running in the Novablast 2, especially if you ran in the original version of the shoe, it'd be great to hear your thoughts, so get in the comments and let us know. We are rapidly moving towards the end of the year, and in true Run4Adventure style, we are working super hard behind the scenes on this year's giveaway extravaganza. We're going to make it bigger and better than ever before, and we've already got some wicked prizes lined up for you guys at home, so stay tuned for that. We'll be announcing that competition very soon on the channel. But for now, thanks for watching. It's always appreciated. We will see you back here very soon, and as always, stay safe and keep on running. It's running review shoe time. Running review shoe time. It's running shoe review time. Oh, it's early. I do apologise.